As you might guess, I have had tons of conversations with parents. And I think that a lot of parents have come to the realization a little too late that the parenting had more to do with them than it did with the kids. We tend to think that parenting, okay, so these kids, now what are these kids doing? I got to change these kids. And yet, I'm working on this parenting course. Well, it's not a parenting course for parents and kids to learn from. It's for the parents, right? And so I realized at some point, wow, this is about me. I'm the one who has to learn how to bring out the behaviors that I know are best for my child. But it's me. I can't impose this on this child. If it was as simple as taking a blueprint and say, here, take this to your room and study it, and I'll see you at age 18. That would be one thing. But it requires a ton of interaction. It requires so many things from so many different areas that a lot of times parents are just overwhelmed. But it really is awesome to know that responsibility says it's about me. And if I am responsible, then there's something I can do. Because there's certainly, if I'm responsible, then it's about me, and there's certainly something I can do about me. I can learn more, I can become more. Now, I think that an area this manifests itself is that parents start to see their relationships drifting with their children. That their children are just interested in different things, and their children are just not interested in the same things the parents are interested in. And as that gets older, the parent tries to go and watch skateboarding, but about an hour is all they can take of it. Just say, yeah, that's great. Wow, that's incredible. But they're not participating in it, right? And so the boy just doesn't like to hunt and fish, and I hunt and fish, and he just doesn't like to hunt and fish, and he skateboards, and that's just what he does, and so I have a hard time because our relationship seems to be drifting more. See, here's what I see, because I've really kind of graphed this in my mind for years and years and years, and I've watched families where the mothers and fathers and the sons and daughters really had tight relationships, and they were all kind of interested in the same things, and they did things together, and they did things together through their teen years, and then that kind of folded right into the adult years. And then I've also watched parents and children who their interests were so totally different that they did begin to drift apart. There was love there and there was a relationship there, but it certainly wasn't what it could have been. If you're a young parent, I want you to listen very carefully here. Your time with your child in what you do and what you think is cool, what you enjoy doing, to involve that child at a very early age, and to be excited and to be patient and show that child the fun parts of it, the child will grow up loving that, right? I have a lot of friends who hunt and fish, and they're outdoor people. They camp. And I have got a few friends that they don't understand why their sons just never got into that, or they don't understand why their kids is a lot more interested in the skateboard. Well, I'll tell you exactly why. It's because when this boy was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, maybe they took him hunting a couple of times, but it wasn't a real pleasant experience. Maybe they took him camping a couple of times. Maybe they took him fishing a couple of times, and maybe several times. But it was at the convenience of the dad. It was on the dad's schedule, and it was to do it like the dad does the activity. You understand what I'm saying? The dad would take the 4-year-old hunting and make them be totally quiet for 4 hours. Well, the kid quickly is like, I hate this, right? Or the dad would take the boy fishing And the dad understands you're not always catching something. And so, you know, you got to deal with that. Well, you take a 6-year-old fishing, you don't really have to catch anything to eat or anything big. I mean, truly, find a pile of brim in a little pond, or if you live in saltwater like we do, just chum up the water and get tons of pinfish and put a little hook on a cork and let this kid catch fish after fish after fish. But what a lot of dads do is they're not there. And so, because they're not there, what's the 7-year-old going to do? What's the 8-year-old? The 9-year-old can't go camping by himself. He can't go in the boat by himself. He can't go off in the woods, you know, with a BB gun by himself. But now he can skateboard by himself. So he skateboards. And he gets interested in it. But if you will take the time, young dad, young mom, if you will take the time to make what you do, to think of it in the eyes of a child. Remember how we want to change or bring about something. What's in it for me? And proof beyond a reasonable doubt that this is so. I mean, proof that this is fun. This is fun. And to be able to do things that are the way that a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old would do this. I mean, we're working with children and bringing their imagination into our world. Rather than saying, when you come into my world, you do it like I do it. And, you know, I don't have very much time to fish. So when I'm fishing, you can fish with me if you want to, okay? But, you know, the kid would really rather be riding a skateboard. Now, if you ride skateboards, you ride bicycles, then come on, make that fun. You get the idea.